Oh, this song. It's the point of this whole episode was literally this song. Just hearing the Uncontrollable Evil, Boku no Hero Academia soundtrack from the 15th. Alright. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to Otaku Chris is Talking. This is your weekly Boku no Hero Academia anime review. This is for episode 28. Now, it was titled Midoriya and Shigaraki, but we didn't actually get their interaction together, but we got to see both their viewpoints and what their goals are for this overall series. And it seems to be that as Midoriya will end up being, well, as his aim is to be the #1 hero, Shigaraki's is to literally be the #1 villain. So it's kind of like, it's crazy how they're not the strongest or the best in their category. So Midoriya is definitely not the best hero, and Shigaraki is obviously not the best villain. And that's the reason why this series has shown us characters such as Stain to really make us realize, oh wow, like Shigaraki really isn't to that standard just yet. But Shigaraki has something about him that's very corrupt, that is very just raw evil, which is kind of what Stain is kind of probably impressed by. But at the same time, he's also kind of like, this fucking kid is a lunatic. You know what? I'm crazy, but yeah, he's definitely something else. Well, yeah, before continuing to this review, if you are new to my channel, do subscribe as I make regular Boku no Hero Academia anime and manga reviews on a weekly basis as well. So if that's a reason to subscribe, feel free. And I'm actually kind of glad. I just realized today I'm on 700 subscribers now. It was crueling, but now I can remove the 600 and 700, close to 1k. And you know, because Boku no Hero Academia has been helping me with these kind of things as well. So I'm really kind of super gassed to subscribe for that good stuff. If you have any points and opinions and thoughts on this episode or on my review, do leave it in the comment box down below, because I like to read through them and kind of have the discussion there as well as on my anime amino, where most of you guys probably are watching it from, because YouTube's algorithm doesn't help me get the views out there. So yeah, so going into this actual episode, this episode had a lot packed into it, which I thought was really cool, especially considering that it was literally like, we just came from a 1 week break, and this is a second episode into the second half of this season. And Midoriya Izuku's already got his full cow, and I'm like, what the hell? And as some of you guys hopefully will know that because I'm a manga reader as well, I'm quite ahead, so I know where Izuku's supposed to be. So I was expecting this, but I wasn't kind of expecting it to be this quick. But that's not in a bad way, because Studio Bones, they've done it very smoothly. They've spread out the pacing in a really good way, and they didn't go out of their way to make things too fast, because they even gave us a bit of downtime with the world building and given us a little bit of interaction between Gran Torino and Midoriya Izuku when they're just going around the city, and he's explaining to him, yo, because he didn't say yo, don't worry, he said yo, don't cite him. Did I say yo? He didn't say yo, it doesn't matter, it's fine. But he basically says because the population in the city is going down, there aren't that many villains, so they kind of go out to different cities to basically kind of help out as well, which is pretty nice as well, because I guess, I know, you're a hero. It's not really like in One Punch Man where you're just stuck in one place. Sometimes you will be called out to help out. And during this, well, before this, we actually got a really good interaction between Gran Torino and Midoriya Izuku, as he had just literally mastered to disperse his energy throughout his whole body instead of placing it all into one place. And that's the reason why his body was always on so much pain and destruction, was because he's what is spread across his whole body now, which is crazy. I mean, you see how powerful he is. Imagine all of that was coming from the tip of his finger. No wonder why he's fucking mangled. But we actually get to see how he maneuvers in his super speed as well, because we notice, well, we obviously saw how fast Gran Torino is, the way he kind of ricochets off of things, and I thought that's a really good way of moving. But I'm wondering whether that's his quirk or whether that's just the way his ability, because he's just, I know, a springy kind of guy. And we saw in the opening as well, with the new opening, I know I didn't speak out it properly last week's review, but in this new opening I got to just kind of see a bit more into it, and we got to see how Midoriya Izuku's movements will actually be, especially in the alleyway scene when he's bouncing around, kind of like Gran Torino, but using his full cow kind of style. And I think that's really nice, and there's a little bit of foreshadowing as well to show you his kind of technique and his fighting style as well, which is super cool. So we have the the one for all full cowling, I don't know which one it is. I prefer full cow. Full cowling sounds like it's like it's been done or it's doing right. I don't know. It's just pointless. It's full cow. So full cow. That's actually a pretty cool move. It's almost like he can stop time as well, or he's so smart that he's able to understand and process a lot of information whilst fighting, or he can stop time. Those are the two things, because Gran Torino, when he was bouncing off of the wall, we saw in real time how fast he was going, but we also got to see how Midoriya Izuku, he used his ability, his All Might ability to kind of push off of the floor, off of whatever he was on, from the ceiling to the floor, like from any instant. He didn't even have to do any hard push, but so much force and pressure allowed him to move at such a distance. And like, I think it's great, because we're now seeing development in Midoriya Izuku's ability, because from the first season we didn't really get to see much, and even by the end of the first season as well, we didn't really get to see him be in a proper serious fight scene. And anytime there was a fight, he was getting injured, and most of the fights in season 1 were mostly focused on the other heroes like Bakugo and Todoroki, and even in the first half of season 2 it was mostly on Todoroki and a few of the other people. He was like Izuku hasn't really had a chance to prove his control of his quirk as well. So as well as all these other things going on with Midoriya Izuku and Gran Torino, we got to see a few of the other Class 1A students as well. So we got to see Ochako. She's training as well. She's training with Pro Hero Gunhead, and I think she has a slight crush on him. I'm not really too sure. So Izuku needs to hurry up and get pretty strong, because she's liking them gains. You know what I'm saying? We got to see Bakugo and his new and his sensei. Was it the Pro Hero Best Genist as well? Yeah, totally not matched. I don't know what the hell is going on. Bakugo was shown in the last episode that he really can't fight against Best Genist. As much as this sensei is some next kind of guy, like, Bakugo can't do shit. So all he can do is let Best Genist try his hardest to comb out his hair and try to turn him into like a military kind of guy. I don't know what he's trying to make him be, but I guess he's trying to make him be more attractive and less of a villain looking hero or something like that. We got to see as well Ida as well. So Ida, he actually gets confronted by his pro hero who's taking him in, and actually says, not confronted, but it's kind of a question. He's like, oh, are you here because of the fact of something happened to your brother, blah, blah. So that discussion happens, which I thought was really cool. But what's interesting is I think the way the discussion was shown to us in the anime, it may have actually been from Ida's perspective, because when that discussion was over and then we got to see Sensei kind of talking about finishing the whole topic, it didn't seem like he was talking about Ida going out of his way to avenge the villain that much. I think he was kind of more talking about the sense of, like, you know, you might go to prison and this and that. So I think they weren't on the same page, and I think that was done on purpose. So if it was done on purpose, I really like that. If it wasn't done on purpose, then I'm probably thinking way too much into it. So there was that, and we got to see Stain and Shigaraki as well. Nice amount of interaction with them in the villain alliance kind of pub thing, whatever the hell that's called. And Stain just goes out of his way and, like, because he doesn't like Shigaraki, he just straight up stabs him in his shoulder. I'm just like, oh shit, that's what's going on. But there's always something up Shigaraki's sleeve. There's a mention, I forgot what Stain mentioned, but it triggered Shigaraki, and Shigaraki ends up basically just kind of disintegrating Stain's sword, and Stain realizes there is like, oh shit, you're so fucked up that you actually could have fought me, but you just let me stab you. Like, what kind of guy are you? But that's when we kind of start noticing that somebody, well, in the last episode we got to see somebody on the TV screen. We didn't see their face, we got to hear their voice, and was kind of controlling, or not controlling, but telling Shigaraki what to do, and was like, keep him here, we need him. And I think we get a bit more about this character who was on that TV screen, but this time when it's All Might actually in his skinny form talking to the head of the police department, and we actually get a whole bunch of information about the Nomus and how fucked that they are. And the Nomu that he fought was literally it had 4 different DNAs inside this one person. This one person was just a general thug, had lips like Usopp, which was hella hilarious. But it wasn't really anything special. There was nothing to him. He was pretty much a disposable kind of guy. So some crazy shit is going on elsewhere where they're making these Nomus. Now we know it's Shigaraki, but we don't really know where Shigaraki's getting them from, because I'm gonna guess Shigaraki's not that old. I'm gonna guess he's probably in his like late teens or his early 20s, especially with his childhood mentality. There's definitely something up with the hands that are on Shigaraki's face. I mean obviously I'm a manga reader, but like I feel it's something that we should definitely start addressing now, because is when he gets triggered by certain mentions or topics about that. So I'm wondering whether Studio Bones will show us where this goes eventually. After all of this, basically, what's his name again? Stain and Shigaraki just decide to kind of work together, but they're not on the same page, but they understand the same book. If that makes sense. They're reading the same book, but not on the same page. So they then just go to start some shit. Stain decides, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna go back to where I started. I got a couple heroes to fuck up, and Shigaraki just watches him go and goes, "Did you really motherfucking think I was gonna let you just stab me and get away with it? You know what? I'll kill you when I want to kill you," and just summons more Nomus. What the actual hell? That was actually crazy. When I saw these new Nomus, different styles, one had wings and shit, it kind of reminded me of episode 1 of season 2 when we got to see Midoriya Izuku. Kind of like the scene opens with Izuku walking up and it's just bare destruction, and you get to see his full cow, which we didn't know that was what the name of the move was, but we saw the whole full cow thing happen, and you see Izuku smile a little bit whilst a city's in destruction, it's black and dark and loads of flames are going on. I think this may be that part there, especially as Izuku's, the way it looks like how Izuku is right now. So I'm wondering whether that's going to basically happen soon, but I hope this season doesn't finish there, because, well, obviously it won't, because we still have, like, I think another 10 more episodes, which should be fucking awesome. So a lot is to go down in this arc. There was a little tone of, not a little tone, but there was like an undertone of something like with what Stain was talking about, as in the heroes are just doing it for the money. And it's interesting how we get to see some of the UA students interning with some of the pro heroes, and they're just doing shit like being models and not really doing much, and basically kind of doing things for money. So pretty much it. And what did you think about this episode? I personally thought this episode was super hype. A lot happened, from world building to characterization, depth with Ida, plot progression as well. We get to see the whole villains alliance and what they're doing. We get to find out a bit about All Might's like nemesis, whoever this person is, and how the connection is with Shigaraki. Yeah, so the whole bunch of shit is going on in this episode, and I'm really excited for next week's episode. What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on my opinions? Do you like this review? If you do, give me the thumbs up. If not, let me know why in the comment box down below, and join me on amino to find out more and just join in the discussion. Have a great day, guys. Otaku Chris is talking. See you next week. Peace.